Hey, Zach from Pensacola, Florida. Crawfish season is back, so tonight I'm going to show you how to make some crawfish bread with my air fryer. I'm just going to show you the ingredients I'm going to use, and then after I cut up the vegetables and start showing you how to make it, then I'll explain the portion to use. So I'm going to need, or you're going to need a loaf of French bread, some celery, green onion, and a sweet onion, and a few cloves of garlic. That's going to be what I'm going to saute. Cheeses, you'll need Parmesan cheese. And a lot of people use a Monterey Jack cheese, but I like this Mexican blend. So I got my stick of butter for sauteing. I've got some mayonnaise and some cream cheese. You're going to need Cajun seasoning of your choice. You know me, I like slap your mama. Paprika. And the most important, you're going to need about a pound of crawfish. We haven't had a boil yet here, so I don't have any fresh crawfish. So I've got frozen crawfish. This is about 12 ounces. Sometimes you can find a pound. If you can get a pound, get a pound, obviously, but this is 12 ounces. So, all right, we're going to start preparing everything. I'll come back and show you how to cook it, and then kind of explain to you the portion sizes. So we'll see you in a bit. Oh, you're going to need one beer, but it's not for cooking, it's just for consumption. See you in a few. All right, we're back to make some crawfish bread. What I did is I took a half of a stick of butter. I'm gonna go ahead and get that melted down. I'm gonna saute my onions and my celery first. So we're good. Go ahead and put those in there. Mix it in with that butter. Okay. Now what I did, I took some French bread and I cut it to fit this size. And then I cut it in half. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my mayonnaise. Mayonnaise works real good in the air fryer. I use it on all my my grilled cheese now, where I used to use butter. Now I use mayonnaise. All right. Finally, glad that crawfish season is back. Time to start having some boils. Alright, so I got the mayonnaise on my French bread. I've got my celery and onions sauteing down in half a stick of butter. And I'm going to let them saute for about 15 minutes. I want to get them real translucent, real soft. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to put the rest of it together. Alright, we'll see you in a few. Alright, I got the onions and celery cooked down pretty good. I went and added a couple tablespoons of butter. So now I'm going to put in my garlic. I got about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. And I just want to sweat them to get the flavor out of them. Bring that flavor out. So I'm going to sweat them for just a few minutes. Probably not even a minute. Just so you can start smelling them. I'm going to go ahead and add in my green onions. And a teaspoon of your favorite Cajun seasoning. Mine is Slap Your Mama. So I'm going to add in a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to add in my crawfish tails. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get all this cooked and heated through, and then I'll bring you back and show you the next step, and then we'll put them in the air fryer. So we'll see you in a few. Alright, we've got all this cooked down again. The crawfish is heated through. Next step, we're going to put in our cream cheese. Kind of break that up to get it mixed in best you can. Alright. Then I'm going to take my Parmesan cheese, it's about a half cup. I'm going to mix that in there with it. I'm going to turn this on low. Alright, and one ingredient I left out was parsley. So I've got some parsley. You can use fresh. I just like using the dried. So I'm adding a tablespoon parsley. All right, that's going to take a few minutes to mix up and melt down. And then we'll come back and I'll show you. Basically, once that all melts down, I'm going to let it cool for just a few minutes, and I'm going to spoon it on top of my on top of the bread, and then I'm going to put however much cheese on it that I want, and then it goes in the air fryer. So we're going to let this kind of mix up and cook down, and we'll take it to the next step. All right, just cooked it down, got it all mixed up, and I'll spread it evenly over these 2 pieces of French bread that we've already put mayonnaise on. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna sprinkle a little, not too much, but just a little paprika on each of them. And put my cheese. And again, we just want to cook it until the cheese melts and the bread gets a little crispy. Again, this is the Mexican style cheese. A lot of people use the Monterey Jack. Kind of whatever whatever your choice is. All right, so I'm gonna go to my air fryer. I'm gonna air fry 370 degrees, and the time I'm gonna put 4 minutes. Hit the start button, and it's gonna take time to preheat. And then I'll preheat it. I'm gonna put that. There's a rack about right here, and I'm gonna put that in the rack and let it go. 4 minutes later, I'll show you what we got. All right, just cooked it down, got it all mixed up, and I'll spread it evenly over these 2 pieces of French bread that we've already put mayonnaise on. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna sprinkle a little, not too much, but just a little paprika on each of them. And put my cheese. And again, we just want to cook it until the cheese melts and the bread gets a little crispy. Again, this is the Mexican style cheese. A lot of people use the Monterey Jack. Kind of whatever your choice is. All right, so I'm gonna go to my air fryer. I'm gonna air fry 370 degrees, and the time I'm gonna put 4 minutes. Hit the start button, and it's gonna take time to preheat. And then I'll preheat it. I'm gonna put that. There's a rack about right here, and I'm gonna put that in the rack and let it go. 4 minutes later, I'll show you what we got. All right, our crawfish bread is done. I actually only cooked it for 3 minutes. It's crispy. That cheese is melting, kind of got that crispiness on top. This is good eating. So that's how you make crawfish bread. Remember, 3 minutes in the air fryer, and we'll see you next time. Happy Mardi Gras.